The term animism first appeared in 1871, coined by Sir Edward Burnett Tylor. He thought it the earliest form of religion based on mistakes made by primitive man, confusing dreams with reality. In 1929, Jean Paget, a Swiss psychologist, used the term to describe the belief that young children have that inanimate objects such as toys and teddy bears have human intentions and feelings. This way of thinking is the fault of René Descartes, who is regarded as the founder of modern Western philosophy, he of the "I think therefore I am" fame. He is also attributed with developing the metaphysical argument that the mind and the body are two totally separate entities that interact with each other, hence called Cartesian dualism. This philosophy also led to what we call the Cartesian gap, the notion that humans are subjects and are therefore separate to the rest of the world, which is objects. Modern anthropologists now place the focus of animism on how to behave towards other beings, but they are still stuck in Cartesian dualistic philosophy that we are separate. So now that we have the bad definitions out of the way, what is animism? Animism is extremely complex and deep, and there is no one single definition that describes the knowledge of the all-pervading vital force that infiltrates everything on this planet. This knowledge instills a sensibility within you, a way of engaging with the world in which you live. The world in which you live varies according to location, and the way in which the vital force manifests itself also varies according to location. It all begins with the land upon which you stand. The way in which animism is expressed depends upon the energy of the land. There's no point in trying to appropriate another culture's animistic beliefs. They work for that land. We have our own. Our ancestors, the ancient Britons, inhabited the mainland on and off for 800,000 years. At that time, Britain was joined to continental Europe by a wide land bridge, allowing humans to move around the whole area. They're sometimes referred to as Celtic, as that is the term that people understand. However, that term really only applies from the Iron Age until pre-Anglo-Saxon invasion. We know that they were animist, shamanist, from finds at sites such as Starcar in North Yorkshire, which dates to 9000 BC. We're still instinctively a little animistic. After all, we talk to our pets, we talk to our cars. How often, when having problems with a supposedly inanimate object, do we find ourselves saying, "I swear that thing has a life of its own"? Animism is hardwired into our DNA. Why wouldn't it be after 11,000 years? That the way in which the vital force expresses itself alters depending upon the land on which you stand illustrates why Britain is such a unique and varied place. The energy experienced changes with the land's geological makeup. This geological map from 1843 shows the variety of the geology that forms our land. Not only does the landscape change with the geology, the nature, the ecosystems that the land supports, and the culture of the people changes. It's what makes the Welsh Welsh, and the Cornish Cornish, etc., and creates their stories and worldview. Nature, culture are inextricably linked. This energy, the vital force, the life force, the spiritual essence, runs through everything in our world. Where it inhabits landscape, it is the thing that changes the feel of a place, gives it its quiddity, its uniqueness. In landscape it is called the genius loci, or spirit of place. When you experience it for yourself, you develop a relationship with that place. In some places it's far stronger than others. Cadr Idris is one such place. As a mountain she is enormous, a massif. She's almost 3,000 foot high, with 3 peaks, and she covers an area of around 9,880 acres. Her mood can change by the hour, let alone the day. Every place is a combination of features that is only present in that one location. No other river has the same underlying geology, shape, length or tidal range of 49 foot as the River Severn, that creates one of the longest rideable waves in the world, the Severn Bore, a surge of water associated with moon phases and equinoxes. If you dedicate time to experience an area, you will develop a knowledge of its personality and get to know its moods. The energy of the Severn, its personality, is called Sabrina. She was viewed by our ancestors as the goddess of the river. Cadridris is called the sleeping dragon. When you get to know the personality of a place, you can relate to it. You're not attributing human traits to it, but you are recognizing it for its uniqueness and what it is. A mountain being or a river being. The life force flows through everything. Wherever you are, it is all around you, in all things, in the air that you breathe, the rain and the water that you drink, below your feet, constantly flowing. The more that you experience, the more you know. It is too complicated to fully explain in a short video, especially in a language that doesn't have the words to explain it. Western languages don't even have a word for the life force. All known living things are related through common ancestry. This is our tree of life. All things come from the same primordial origin. Everything is related. Everything is your cousin. We also share interdependent relationships. Trees and plants take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen into the atmosphere. We'd be pretty stuffed without oxygen. The role that trees and plants play is vital for human and other life. When you fail to look after the natural world and pollute or destroy its resources, you destroy the vitality of its life force. If you destroy a person's vitality, you destroy their ability to do anything. It's exactly the same. When you look after the natural world, its vitality increases. This leads to an increase in abundance, which means that the natural world is more able to provide our needs. Everything is a cycle. When you are open to the experience of animism and have a relationship with the natural world around you, you treat it with respect and look after it. You may have noticed that throughout we talk about experience and not belief. There is a massive difference. I could ask if you believe that water is wet. I won't, because I realise that you know that water is wet. But let's pretend that you have never experienced water before, and I have to describe what wet is. I would probably make a pretty bad job of it, but at the end you may be able to say, I believe that water is wet. But if I throw that bucket of water over you, you don't need to believe, because you know. And you know because you have experienced being wet. When you experience something, you get knowledge, and with knowledge you no longer need belief. Animism is experiential. You don't need belief, you know. So, animism is a way of engaging with the world in which we live, with a knowledge, a sensibility gained through experience of the vital force, the life force or spiritual essence, inherent in all things. It is the relationship that we are able to engender with all beings, animal, vegetable, mineral or element, through recognition of our connections and the meeting of our quiddities, energy to energy, soul to soul. Everything is connected, everything is related. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and help the channel to grow. We'd love to see you in future videos. Do stay in touch with us, subscribe to the channel, it's free.